Hi, I'm Shelley Treacher from bristolcounselling.co.uk. I'm here to answer the second question that's been left in the group. Thank you so much for leaving questions. Please leave more. This one is a really popular one and a very difficult one. How to take the edge off a binge urge. Very intense, very strong. I have such a lot of compassion for how difficult that urge is to resist. Impossible. That's why you're here. So I did a little experiment on myself and gave up something that I really didn't want to give up. A long time ago, well, not long, a few months ago, gave up coffee and I loved it. I really didn't want to give it up, but I gave it up with these principles that I'm about to tell you. And since then, I've been eating a little bit of dark chocolate every day. And that's been something I thought I should give up at some point, but didn't. So this week, perfect opportunity to put my own teaching into practice, and so I gave up dark chocolate, and it was, I'm not going to lie, really, really, really difficult. This coincided at the beginning of the week with me realizing that I had been in fight or flight a little bit about work and about the situation in the world. Not understandable, very understandable. I'm sure a lot of us are in fight or flight. I've done another video on that in my Facebook page if you want to have a look at that. But the point I need to make here is that I have been really tired in this period and frustrated with myself for being tired. And so when I gave up the slight bit of caffeine that I was getting in the chocolate, I became really tired. And so I've got a cheat sheet next to me here, so I'm just going to look at what happened. So this is day one on Monday, and I had the persistent voice of, but I'm tired, I need the chocolate. And so my first teaching, or the first thing that I do, is to stay with the difficulty that comes up, to observe the urge and to question exactly what it really is and what's behind it. So for me, I realized that chocolate was keeping me from being tired, and I realized that I really hate being tired. I find it really uncomfortable, or I did. So the chocolate was saying, how can I not have this? I am tired, I need to get through the day, I need to do my work, I need to drum up business, here's where the fight or flight comes in. But so what I realised is that I have to take this seriously. I'm tired. Maybe I need some rest. And so I gave myself a lot more rest and somehow rode through the first day and the binge urges with giving myself rest and taking a back seat. This really deepened over the week, I have to say, and every time I got a binge urge, I would just quite quickly realise that it's because I was tired and that I needed to rest. And minutely, that might have meant for moments I was working too hard, like maybe with clients, if I felt tired, that probably meant I was working too hard. Or if I was trying to do marketing and my brain went all foggy and I'm thinking about chocolate, I'm probably working too hard. So I took tons of breaks this week and it made me really happy. I gave myself downtime in between every single thing that I do. So before clients, after clients, at lunchtime, before marketing, in the evening, and before bedtime. And I even started to do meditation, which I think is another thing that really helps. So that's the first day. Second day, I actually found a little bit easier because I'd already started saying no and kind of got used to it and was on a bit of a high from having given it up for the day. I'm like, oh, look at me, I've done something really cool. So the second day wasn't so bad. But I did notice that the voice, but there's nothing to look forward to, came up into my head. I'm sure you're familiar with this. Hands up, who's had that voice? And so this voice in my head was trying to tell me that I would not be happy if I didn't have the chocolate. So again, I was armed. I'm like, is this about tiredness? Am I really feeling something else that needs acknowledging? And this time it wasn't about tiredness, it was sadness. And so this is the deepening of the second teaching, really, is to stay with how you feel. This, I think, is probably the most difficult and the one you might need help with. I've had lots of training in this and lots of supervision and therapy around this. So I know that I'm going to survive if I stay with how I feel. And for me, it was grief about how my business had changed, how I'd been working so hard, and everything had changed. So I had a bit of a cry, and that was such a relief. And then, of course, something resourceful happened. I started to see the advantage in taking a rest and changing my life a little bit. And then perhaps focusing on online courses, which is something I've really wanted to do for a very long time. So it's amazing how the resource can come out when you stay with the feeling. And I know that a lot of people who are comfort eating are avoiding feeling. And so that's, something to be explored. So that was day 2. Day 3, I became tired again. And the voice in my head said, the chocolate will make you feel better. But of course, by now, I'm taking every urge as it comes, bit by bit, and I'm batting them away with, I'm going to stay with my feelings. And no, that's not actually going to help me. What I really need is something else, so I'm going to listen to that. And again, it wasn't easy, but I did it again that day. And the third day again wasn't that hard. But by the fourth day, I was really grumpy and I had more of these waves. And I really wanted the chocolate. I didn't have the chocolate and I rode through these waves over and over and over again. It was longer this time. It was a tough day. I'm not gonna lie, it's tough. And so here we are on Friday. And at some point, sorry, I've just looked at my cheat sheet. I know at some point I had the voice, are we going to have to do this forever? And actually, I decided, no, we're not going to have to do this forever. We're taking this step by step. And I actually probably will have some kind of chocolate or something sweet treat and crisps at the weekend. I'm probably not going to go overboard because actually, having done this for 5 days, I'm feeling the benefit of not being a slave to something. And I've had so many fruits and vegetables that I must be very healthy this week. And it feels good. But most of all, I think it feels good to be in control. Is there anything else that I haven't said? So I'm just going to run through the things, the lessons. Take one urge at a time. Observe the urge and try to examine what it actually is, what it's really about, what's underneath it. Observe the objection to why you can't have, if you can't have this thing, what the objection is. Like, I'm too tired, it'll make me happy, I've got nothing to look forward to. And remember why you're doing it, right? Why you're trying to give up, and why you're trying to resist this urge, or why you're trying to understand this urge. And for me, it was partly being accountable to you guys, actually. So I would recommend being accountable. But be careful with this one because it can trigger you into fight or flight again and make you miserable and make you want to eat more. But if being accountable helps like it did this week for me, then by all means use this group for that. And also doing it to stay in control and to be healthier was something that helped me. But actually, and the thing that I'm going to end on is I think the main reason that I do it is because I've got this. I can handle how I feel. And I know you can too. You might need a little bit of coaching in how to do that and help in knowing that your feelings are not as terrible as you think they are. But ultimately, I think you've got this, and so have I. So life is not really a thing to be just got through and to be a slave to something else. It's a place to really know yourself and to feel good. So that's what I'm here for. Take care, people. Bye.